Good afternoon. I'm Kemi Olunloyo, Dr. Kemi, Madam KOO. It is the 24th of January 2020. I'm in Lagos, Nigeria. I just arrived. A lot of you wonder where I live. Some say I moved to Lagos. Yes, I did leave Ibadan in June of last year and I moved to Lagos. And I lived in Lagos for the last, 6 months or so, 5 to 6 months. I left Lagos in between. I went to Port Harcourt. I went to Tanzania. I traveled up and down without telling anybody when I'm traveling, when I'm coming back. Today, I posted that I'm back from Doha. That's the capital of Qatar. Did I go to Doha? Oh, I was just, on meetings with people in Doha online. I don't know. Go figure. I'm not based anywhere. Okay, I live in hotels. I'm not living in any country. I live in hotels in different countries. I'm working as a communications and marketing expert. I'm self-employed, but I'm a first-class degree holder in 3 separate degrees: pharmacy, public relations management, and journalism. I'm a Nigerian citizen. I am not a citizen of any other country. Yes, I have had a U.S. permanent resident for years, but I never applied for citizenship. So all this rhetoric about me being a citizen, not being a citizen, Canada, don't worry about my immigration status. Worry about yours. A lot of Nigerians do have dual citizenships, and a lot of their children who are Americans do have dual Nigerian citizenships. Citizenship is the third biggest lie to mankind. The first biggest lie to mankind is religion. The second is currency. And the third is immigration. That's where citizenship lies. You see, immigration, you have to take a paper to get into somebody else's country. People from that country come to your country, they invest and make money, but you have to take permission to go into their country. Just to visit, to invest, to live. It's usually harder the other way around if you're Nigerian. The second biggest lie to mankind, currency. Your currency is 360 Nairas to the dollar, and it could be worse everywhere else. 98 dirhams, AED, UAE money, 98 Naira to one of theirs. What's the difference between these countries and yours? This broadcast is about how Nigeria can be set free from this bondage. We've tried everything. General Babangida, who ruled Nigeria for 8 years, came out of his sleep or cave or whatever, and he said the only way you can change Nigeria is restructuring. Restructuring what? I'm a 55-year-old single mother of 3 American children. I'm training my children how they're going to be working in the U.S. government in one capacity or the other. My youngest is a musician, and he wants to work at the State Department. Maybe one day it'll be the Secretary of State, or maybe the ambassador. Okay, my son Rich KJT Music might end up being the Nigerian ambassador. In other words, the U.S. ambassador to Nigeria. All these positions are still going to be Nigerians holding them, who are actually citizens of America. You never focus on the bigger picture, and that's my saying. I coined that phrase on the internet in 2007. Always focus on the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is, yes, Obama became president, and his father was Kenyan. So he's half Kenyan. He carries a Kenyan passport and an American passport, simply because he was born in America. So who says my son can't be president? My youngest son is a musician. He came from America to join me. We moved to Canada. I was sent back home from Canada. My son could have gone to America, but he came home. Imagine, he went to the Nigerian school system. He said he wanted to school in the oldest university in Nigeria and get a degree from there. For the hell of getting that degree from that university. You know how some people go to America and they want to study? They say they want to go to Harvard University just to get that degree. Do you guys know that I was accepted in Harvard University to study chemistry? But I declined because I wanted to go to the oldest pharmacy school in America, the Philadelphia College of Pharmacy, now University of Sciences, Philadelphia. And I remember some family members saying, oh, you should just go to Harvard and study chemistry just to say you have a Harvard degree in chemistry. Some people like that. It's not my thing. I wanted to study pharmacy. Harvard doesn't have a pharmacy curriculum. At the end of the day, Rich KJT came home to Nigeria with me. He went through the rigorous process of JAMB. Let's start with NECO, WAEC, and GCE. He worked so hard, went to the GCE exams. The results were never released because there was cheating in some of the centers. Did my son cheat? No. But the results were not released. It is a sad fact of Nigeria that these things happen, and it's been happening since I was young. When I was 15 and I did WAEC, the Federal School of Arts and Sciences, there was erroneous cheating. Everybody did not get their results. So it was a waste of 1 year, and I had to go with my original WAEC results, which was all Bs. My father wanted us to do even better, all As. So I used the Bs to go abroad to study A-level and from there America. I sent myself to the United States. My father had no idea I was going to the United States until 30 days before I traveled. And I hear people saying, oh, your father stole money to send you abroad. No, he didn't. Who paid for my public relations degree? Who paid for my journalism degree? I did. I went to pharmacy school. The second year of my pharmacy school, I paid the rest of my tuition. Yes. Even my father didn't know that I had a degree in PR or journalism until 2012. You'll be surprised what you assume. Some people think because they're children of the poor, they can berate the children of the rich or elite. You need to know who the rich is and who the elite is. Okay, Olunlayas are elite. We're not necessarily rich. Some people made that whole distinction messed up. That confused the masses. Some of the children of the elite became the children of the rich, depending on how they, faced their lives. Femi Otedola is one of them. The Otedolas are really an elite family. Okay, Sir Michael Otedola was once governor of Lagos State. Now, the second generation, Femi is my generation. Femi sold oil, diesel, Fort oil, all that stuff. And that's oil and gas, and he's rich. But he's still the son of an elite. The daughter, the daughters, we have one singer, one DJ, and one fashionista. And a son. Let me tell you about DJ Copy, Florence Otedola, Timmy Otedola, and the sister. They worked for themselves because they coined out what they wanted to do. Their father may have had money to start their business off, but they're children of billionaires. The Adelikes are such people. The Adelikes are not elite. These generation of Adelikes want to be elite, but that's not their status. They're rich. You see, that's one thing about Nigeria. In Nigeria, most of the rich want to look elite, and they're not necessarily that. I'll explain that very well to you with the Dangotes and the Dantatas. You see, Aliko Dangote came from the Dantata family. And Aliko started with a little bit of money given to him by his grandfather. The Dantatas are a very elite family. And so Dangote used the money Grandpa gave him, and he expanded his business. Got a lot of contracts from the federal government. This is the way the Arishikolas are. Arishikola was the friend of every military government. Oil and gas, name it. He got a lot of contracts to improve lives for Nigeria, and that's exactly what Dangote is doing now. Different things. At the end of the day, many of the elite became the rich. Now let's go back to the Adele case. The Adele case started with Nigerian money. Babangida had his favorite friends, IBB's boys, they call them. Deji Adeleke was one of them. Deji Adeleke is a very intelligent man, Davido's father. He went to school in America, and he got a doctorate in some really serious degrees there in petrochemical engineering and all that stuff. It's a sad shame that most of his children have no idea of how petrochemical engineering works, and I think it's time he better start training some of them. But that's not to say that you have to do what your father did, because I'm not for that, okay? This is the problem I have with my son, okay? His father never has refused to pay for his school fees. His father doesn't have any relationship with him. He abandoned his son, my youngest son, Rich KJT. He told you the story on Instagram. His father told him, if you don't become a lawyer like my family or a pharmacist like your mom, I'm never going to have anything to do with you. And he stayed by that. He has not paid any school fees or any college. Coyote wants to study theater arts. He's literally abandoned the boy. The boy went into made his EP. Okay, we might not be performing every day like Davido and all that, but we're making our money straight up on iTunes, and we're streaming on SoundCloud, Tidal, everywhere. The money's in dollar. That's good, because all of you don't know how the music business works. You think they just make money from performances. Streaming revenue is big, and a lot of my songs' music is now showing up in video games, and you wonder how much it was paid. Two-Face was paid $5 million during the Fat Girls thing with African Queen. Deji Adeleke, he got a gift from Babangida, an oil block. Who didn't get an oil block? Presidents, they say they are entitled to give gifts to their employees, their favorites or whatnot. Folansho Alakija got oil block. She invested hers, she became a billionaire. She even told you on Twitter that she got it in good faith when you went after her. Deji Adeleke got an oil block. He invested his, plus he had a degree in the whole thing, and he became the owner of Pacific Energy, an oil and gas company. His employees loved him, and they still love him, and they call him Baba Olowo. His little boy was born in America, Davido. I was Veronica's friend before she died. The little quiet friendship we had, I once babysat Davido while the mother went out. One day in Atlanta, in those days. Early millennium. She died. At the end of the day, Adeleke did a good job with his oil and gas business. But at the end of the day, it's Nigeria's money. Alakija, the same thing. At the end of the day, it's Nigeria's money. If President Buhari decides to reward me with money, I'll take it for something I've done that's good. It's a gift. But some of you might come after me and say it's Nigeria's money. No, let's say President Buhari actually gave me 300 million and I opened my TV and radio station. State of the art. And you know that it was a gift. At the end of the day, you're going to say it's Nigeria's money too. But it was a gift. But how are we distributing Nigeria's money? Are we distributing Nigeria's money equally, or spreading the love, the sharing, the money, and all that? No. Do we have to do that? No. At the end of the day, you heard what Davido said. When his uncle kept failing in the elections, lost at the polls, lost to the Supreme Court, lost to the tribunal, lost at the appeals court, Davido got so mad, he almost started threatening the one sitting there now, Oyetola, APC. I warned him online, indirectly, shut up, because I know people you don't know. They will kill you. He kept quiet. At the end of the day, he said to you guys, my family has more money than Osun State combined. And that money he keeps talking about is the same money Wale Adeleke too was talking about to me on Twitter. Chairman HKN, Davido's dark-skinned fat brother. That one told me I'm a mumu journalist because every rich person got an oil block. When I was accusing their dad, I wasn't accusing their dad, actually. I was accusing them of thinking that their dad's money came from hard work. It was a gift that started the whole company. Okay? Many of you, if I give you an oil block now, you don't even know what to do with an oil block. You don't know how to invest it and become a billionaire. You just want to know how does it turn to cash in my bank account. Got to learn these things. So these children are born as spoiled brats, and they say to a journalist, mumu journalist, every rich person in Nigeria got an oil block. No. Wale, every rich person in Nigeria did not get an oil block. It's important you know that. There's some very rich people in Nigeria. My pastor is one of them, David Ibiyomi. He's a billionaire, and he's building what amounts to be the biggest church in the whole of West Africa right now, if not Africa, the cathedral in Port Harcourt. All right, Pastor Ibiyomi invested a lot of time, energy, and money in his empire, and he did not get an oil block. It's important that some of you know how those work. So I corrected Wale. He still abused me. You need to know how Nigeria works, guys. In the second part of this video, you're going to learn more about why we need to recolonize Nigeria. Part 2 coming.